Hey, come on in, JP! I'm glad you can make it over. Please tell me you got that new Punisher game.
Oh yeah, Scott, I got it. Oh hey.
Well, hello! Is this Mr. James Paul G? Whoa! Hello, Mr. G. Right to the video games, I see. I'm a really big fan of your work. My name is Grant Baudelaire. Yeah, just right to the video games. Pretty violent over there. Sounds pretty violent to me. What brings you here today? Mr. G?
Sorry.
Would you be willing to speak a little bit about, what are you doing here today?
Well, Mr. McCloud and myself are old friends. We found each other's blogs, actually, realized we were part of the same semiotic domain, and, then, I don't know, I thought maybe he could be in the, my affinity group, so I got a hold of him, and we talked a little bit, and since then we've become great friends. Found we got a lot in common, know the same kind of language, and it worked out real good.
Wow. Well, that's great. Would you be willing to speak a bit with us about the video games and literacy?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I just finished reading your text, what video games can teach us about literacy, and I'm interested in knowing more about several of your 36 learning principles. Let's begin with this scary-sounding psychosocial moratorium principle. What's that all about? Kinda sounds like a B-horror movie to me.
Yeah, that's what my wife said. Psychosocial moratorium describes a situation where learners can kind of, take risks and thereby get a little bit better learning. Oh, I'm killed here.
I think I'm going to turn this down just a little bit.
In video games, for instance, you can do whatever you want and really be whoever you want, and there aren't any real risks because it's just a video game. So you can actually learn more because you don't have to worry about your position in society or exactly where your things are going to take you, what you say is going to take you.
You're an advocate of letting the student or the learner actually take risks and choose their direction of education?
Well, yeah, actually.
So you really believe that there's more than one way to move ahead in education, and that certainly conflicts with my upbringing?
Well, I'm sure it does. But you're right, I do believe that. I think that there are multiple ways to make progress. We can move ahead in all sorts of different ways. Limiting student learning to just one. What were we talking about? Oh yes.
Actually, learning principle 16.
16. Oh, that's right. One of my favorites. Really, students need to have choices. When they can start to rely on the choices they make, they can start to make more genuine decisions in their own learning, more genuine connections in their own learning, and it turns learning into a process that they can relate to their lives rather than something that's limited to academic scenario.
Well, if there are so many ways to learn and communicate, how do we make sense of it all?
Well,
yeah.
let me just go ahead and jump in on that. I think if we think of learning and the texts we use, the tools we use, as kind of a family, maybe even you might even call it genre of texts, and we can start to see the relationships. I mean, think about your own family, if you like. You're not all the same people, obviously, but there are lots of things you can probably come up with that are the same between you, similarities, Those connections help you to understand how you have become a family and how you can remain a family. Understanding that grouping, helps you understand not only the individual text, but the larger scenario.
Oh, that's an interesting concept. In
Right.
my education, I was used to sitting and listening to a teacher give a lecture about whatever we were studying, while we as students sat and took notes and tried to absorb knowledge from our desks. That's all I've ever known. But now, after reading your transfer principle and thinking about how it relates to the way I've always learned, it seems like maybe it would be better to keep overt telling to a well-thought-out minimum, and to allow ample opportunity for the learner to experiment and make discoveries. Would you agree? The latter description, which conflicts rather sharply, I'd say, with the first description of style of teaching. A better way to educate? So, intuitive knowledge principle. I'm totally lost here. Please help me.
I'm glad you asked about it. Intuitive knowledge principle basically says that intuitive or tacit knowledge, which we use to learn about, well, let's say non-academic situations, learning to read, for instance, with our parents, learning to walk, learning to talk, all these things are learned through experience. They're learned naturally. And many times it's difficult for us to come out and explain exactly how we've gone about learning these things, what it means to the rest of the world. Sometimes we just know those things, but in the academic situation, often that kind of knowledge is really not rewarded. It's not even recognized by many, and I think that's totally out of line. We really need to encourage kinds of unconscious and simply intuitive ways that students learn, and embrace those and help them to develop it more, not stifle it with unnecessarily rigid requirements, we'll say, that don't necessarily cater to the needs of the learner, but rather cater to the needs of the teacher.
That's a very interesting concept, Mr. G.
Thank you.
How did you arrive at these learning principles? How did they become developed within your vast mind?
Well, this for one, playing lots of video games, I've realized the incredible potential. Come on. And also reading this book here. This has helped quite a bit. Old Gunter and Theo are top in their field and have helped me to understand a little bit of how my unconscious knowledge, which I spoke about earlier, about video games, which I've gained through experience, lots of experience with it, have really helped me to understand lots of concepts that I couldn't necessarily put words to. But after talking with them, I realized there are terms for a lot of what I was learning, and it's allowed me to share it with the academic world.
Wow. So thank you very much for your time, Mr. G, Mr. G. How do you pronounce your name, if I'm not offending you?
It really doesn't matter.
Okay then. Well, this is Gunter Baudelaire, a surprise interview with one of my personal heroes, James Paul G. Guy. So thank you again. I'll let you get back to your mass killing.
Thank you.